strengthening that position and attracting foreign investors to the Egyptian market. Linda Abdulatif, Nile TV International.
And welcome back. We continue our interview with Dr. Mohamed Adly, the lecturer at the Information Technology Institute, ITI. Dr. Mohamed, the Ministry of Communication has established the Information Technology Institute. How can you tell us more about the activities of the ICI and to what extent it is helping in the field of communication?
The Information Technology Institute has been established since 1993. It's now more than 20 years old. It's in the age of youth. It is dedicated for training, for offering training services and consultancy and support. Regarding the training services, it is offered to the Egyptian university graduates and especially the fresh graduates from colleges related to the IT field, engineering and computer science, and other colleges as well where the graduates are interested to shift their career or to pursue their career with the aid of the IT. It's a scholarship, it's free, and the applicants or the students also obtain some money every month as something from something for the scholarship from the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology. We are governmental, we are not for profit. We exist in the Smart Village as the headquarters, and we exist also in Mansoura, in Asyut, in Alexandria, and recently in Ismailia. We take every year an intake that is around 1,000 students that pass 9-month scholarship inside the ITI premises to graduate at the end of the 9 months as one of the IT professionals in the IT market and to bridge the gap between the university education and the needs and the business demand of the marketplace.
Yes, very well. Now, Doctor, seems to be very interesting, but how does this institute really serve the sector of telecommunications?
Providing the human calibers is the main need, and Egypt and the youth of Egypt is the main wealth of Egyptians. So we train the human calibers to serve this sector with all the disciplines and all the bandwidth of the ICT specializations. We have more than 28 or 29 specializations in the field of IT. Our graduates are considered as the top-notch graduates in that field. They are offered to the industry of the ICT as professionals, and they obtain job offers by the end of the 9 months of their existence inside the ITI itself.
Dr. Mohamed, can you tell us how this also can be a great boost in the field of communications and telecommunications in Egypt? How the ITI could be playing a role in developing such a sector in the country?
Training is one of the activities. Other activities is offering consultancy, offering supports, and stretching the hands to industry to recognize the needs of the industry in this field and try to provide these needs based on the knowledge and expertise of the ITI that is more than 20 years. We have stretched our activities as well outside Egypt in the African region. We are, I can tell that we are the main source of calibers and professionals and maybe experts as well for the IT sector inside Egypt and ICT sector as well.
Yes.
Interesting. Now, because this sector is very competitive and demanding and continuously changing because of the use of technology, how do you see Egypt's telecommunications sector competing with other sectors in the West, for instance, the United States, Europe, or in neighboring developed countries?
This is good. The ICT sector of Egypt is one of the sectors that has been concrete and that has been facing the turbulence in Egypt for the last years. It has been facing and keeping the rate of growth. As Engineer Khalid Negm, our minister, just said that the rate of growth has been stable and even increasing during the years of the revolution. So it is a concrete and very strong sector compared even to the West and to the relevant sectors in the region. transforming the society to digital society and transforming the services offered by the government to citizens into the digital form would serve very much in easing these services, would serve very much in facing the suffering that may a citizen, an ordinary citizen, face while obtaining the governmental service, while issuing a document, any document from the government. So the automation of these services and transferring the windows where people stand in rows in front of the employee into windows over the internet, and using the telecommunication, the infrastructure, the internet as means of communication between citizens and the entities offering governmental services would lead to more quality and less suffering for these citizens. This is where, this is the area where the citizen can find the main touch or the main interaction between the ICT sector and himself.
Indeed. Sir, to what extent there is a cooperation between the ITI and the private sector companies working in the field of telecommunications in Egypt?
To the largest extent, we first obtain the demands of these private sector companies, the training demands, the trends, the areas where we can train our students on, the top-notch and the technological trends that is evolving, even not the common ones. This is at the first of every intake in the ITI. For the coming intake, that would be the 36th intake of the ITI, we are trying to enhance the quality more and more for the students by the help of the industry. We would take from them the demands and the business needs. We would cooperate with them in a more aggressive way in the training, and finally we would sign with them agreements to hire these students by the end of the training. So it's all, the training process is based on the industry needs and the academia as well.
Now, when you spoke of governmental processes and how we can turn into, using the digital technology, that brought to my mind a very important question. I mean, it's easier and it's much more flexible to train youth and to train people who are already working in those governmental organizations to turn to digital. And we are a nation who, if we don't hold a file and if we don't have to roam around like a bee all day, we won't feel secured that our things are being finished. And the employees, if they don't have to sign piles of stacks of folders, then they won't feel that they're working. And this is a problem, because we see in many governmental areas up until today, they are still signing up documents. They still have to go and dive into a closet of folders.
Yes.
And then they tell you to come back next year until they find the folder. Maybe it's not there. So seriously, how the world is moving on. We see areas in Asia who are just 50 years old, and look at them. Dubai and the United Emirates as well. Look at them. I mean, what's wrong?
As you have just said, it's a matter of culture. It's a matter of awareness. We have the duty, or we take on our shoulders the duty of spreading awareness of this culture inside the Egyptian society. We should educate and train and tell people, even through television interviews, that the digital society, the digital services is something that is the technological trend. That is the language that the world is speaking right now. So the governmental employees need to be aware and need to be trained on this type of services. That this type of services may end up the corruption. It may end up the meeting between the person demanding the service and the person offering the service. They do not meet each other, so there would be no corruption inside, and there would be no less traffic density. For people would not be transferred.
Facilities provided and less time consuming. Dr. Adly, why we are not seeing that implemented up to this moment in many governmental institutions? We are seeing long queues for people, as Yasmin have just mentioned, waiting for some quick thing that could happen if it's automated or it's through the
And if
IT.
it's automated and then the system is down,
but now
you can live on that for 6 months.
We are searching in piles of papers, and still I've seen up to this moment typewriters.
Typewriters?
Yes, I swear
Seriously?
to God. Typewriters are used by employees in different governmental institutions up to this moment. So
It is planned. It is under. It is running. It is the process that we are in progress now, and there would be an event, a big event. I think in a short time that would gather all the governmental entities and ITI, of course, and other experts in the field to explain to people what we have just said. That transferring the services into the digital form is much better in so many ways. So we have been hindered for some time by the turbulence and the political and, of course, the money shortage. But, of course, it is the step that has to be taken in the near future, and we should catch the way to be just like some of the Arab countries that are now more developed in this area. We should take.
Do you think one of the problem why the government institutions, certain government institutions are kind of fearful of taking this step is because the employees are pressuring in terms of they feel they will lose their jobs because obviously technology will be replacing thousands of employees who, you know, are just there, you know, to sign papers?
It is not planned to replace employees by other employees. It is planned to train the same employees on other ways. He is feeling sometimes, not all of them, he's feeling that he's losing authority or losing, if he is corrupted, for the minority of them, of course, not the majority. If he's corrupted, he's feeling he's losing some source of income for him. So we have to spread awareness and educate and train the same employees to offer the same services that are.
How long does this transitional process take, and how costly is it for the government to switch to digital automatic?
If the concept is implemented, it would not take much long.
So it's just a database, and you need to train the employees for the database.
Yes.
And training could possibly take, what, 1 month?
Maybe 6 months, but the problem is not the training. The problem that they get convinced with the concept. They get.
Is it up to them
yes.
to decide how the mechanism of the
If
job
something
should be
is
applied?
forced, it does not live long. If something is, we should tell them that it is better. It is better even for you to have less suffering, even for accomplishing your task and for doing the same job you are doing. So it's awareness, it's training, and that's all. And it would be implemented maybe for the governmental employee to offer the same service he's offering. It takes 6 months. 6 months of training. He will not be trained to be a professional. He will be trained just to be a good
adopt
user.
to the new atmosphere of the job.
Yes, a good user or experienced user.
Indeed. Dr. Mohamed Adly, the lecturer at the Information Technology Institute, ITI. Thank you very much for your precious input, and hopefully next time we'll find.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, hopefully next time we interview you, we turn digital.
Yes, yes, hopefully, yes. Even in 1 or 2 main services.
Thank you.
And maybe the next time would be inside the ITI itself.
Yes, but absolutely, I have to also mention here that the traffic, I don't know what they're called in English, where you go renew your license and stuff like that. That went digital.
Yes, it's
and
yes,
it's beautiful.
Things
you
are
go there
transferred.
and it's empty.
Yes.
Just when you have to pay the bill of the, you know,
penalties
the penalties, that's where it's crowded.
Things are changing.
Yes,
Things
they are.
are changing.
Yeah, we see positive notes.
Hopefully we
We're
want
here to
fast
see the
change,
positive
and the governmental institutions, of course, if they went automated, that would be great.
Yes, I hope the employees could really feel convinced that it is better for them and for the whole society.
It's all through awareness and education and training. It's
Thank you very much for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much, Dr. Mohamed Adly, and have a lovely morning.
Thank you.
And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition from The Breakfast Show. You were in the company of Mahisti Rabia and Yasmin Bakir. Thank you, Yasmin.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much, Mahisti. And do join us back again tomorrow at the same time as we bring you more updates. The French transmission is going to be taking up next. Stay tuned after the break.